Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Copper Dragon's here, and I'm going to be playing some more KNACK 2. So let's hop right in and continue the game. I left off on Chapter 9, the beginning of Chapter 9. And I believe there's like 14 chapters in this game. So I only got the rest of this chapter to go, and I've like 4 or 5 more chapters after that. So there's not that many. So yeah. But yeah, that whole Jake Butcher thing, or whatever that guy's name is, that I mentioned, I believe last video. Yeah, those streamers are cowardly losers for not even caring enough to, like, they were just obviously using the guy at that point. Like, if they don't even care to show up to his birthday of all days, that just screams that they were, using him for attention and clout, because he's, obviously disabled. Like, that's obviously what they were doing at that point. Yeah, I gotta, wait to... Never mind. I was waiting on regen to pop up, but I guess I waited too late. I guess I stayed in the place way too, long. Huh. I just got a trophy. How weird. And also, if you're wondering why I'm still getting trophies even though I already beat the game, that was on an older account that I had, from like, I believe 2019. That was like, I beat the game on an account, that I lost back in like 2019, for personal reasons, and that was the only account that I ever beat the game on. So that explains why I'm still getting trophies to this day, even though I already beat the game. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that so I can, attack him better. Yeah, there was no way I could have done it otherwise. Other than using the boomerang ability, which is still pretty useless, mind you, because it doesn't even deal damage. Like, it is still pretty useless once you think about it. Because restrained attacks, they aren't really that powerful. Like, all they are used for is, like, what, the namesake of the attack. Like, that's all they're used for. Am I seriously gonna have, like, 1 or 2 deaths this entire video? Like, have I become so goated at these games that I don't even have to worry about the risk of death? Or is it just, mostly being carried by the abilities, which is, more likely to be happening? Like, being carried by my abilities that I have in this game is likely what, like the boomerang, the grab arm, or whatever that ability is called. That attack, the multi-punch, and, abilities like that. Am I just being carried by those abilities, or is it just pure skill? Like, I honestly cannot tell if it's pure skill or, being carried by the abilities. Well, at least I actually found out a way to deal with the electrocution. being the boomerang. So I guess that's something that it's actually useful for. You know, besides being a restraint attack. At least that's something the boomerang is useful for. But honestly, it was pretty dumb of Lucas and KNACK to not think of building a plane months for all the months that they were on the island as featured in that last video. They were trapped on that island for what I can only assume is about a year. And yet they didn't even think about a plane until the very end of that year. Like, they are easily some of the dumbest characters in these games. If they couldn't even think of building a plane with all those robot parts. You know, in a world where most travel was either done by planes or cars. And obviously they wouldn't have any use for a car in that moment. So I'm honestly quite shocked that they were that stupid. That they couldn't even think of a basic vehicle that has existed for hundreds, if not nearly 1,000 years by now. Hundreds, if not thousands of years. Like, you know, that kind of concept has existed for what I can only assume is a few thousand years. Like, you know, being able, like, air transport. That's what I can only assume the concept has existed for. And yet they didn't even think of that. Whenever I could have thought of the same idea in 10 minutes. Sure, I may have not had the, you know, engineering skills to put it together, but I could have easily come up with that idea in not even 10 minutes. Like, it was so obvious that I bet a child could find it out before they did. Like, that's how simple of an idea that was. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the skill tree and unlock a new skill, because it told me I can. Huh. Wait, I can do a tackle? Man, I wish I had chosen that over the other skill. Honestly, I do. Yeah, I'm focusing on the biggest enemy. Because, you know, the bigger enemies are always the toughest to take out. Like, the bigger that they get, the more HP they are given. Just like with KNACK. Like, and the more damage they deal is at the same time, too.
KNACK.
You know, just like KNACK.
Looks like you cleaned up the garden pretty
Size
well.
is a major part of this game.
But they still fight the same.
Do not take that out of context. And I won't elaborate on what I was trying to say any further, because that would just, you know, make the clip out of context to look even worse. Because I can't think of anything else to say that would, you know, better explain what I was trying to
I
say.
overheard the monks talking. The doctor and the others were in the basement.
Okay, there's obviously... Ooh, XP. That is honestly the most useful part of this game, is the XP system. Like, sure, I may not like skill trees, but it's honestly the most useful part. Also, I'm trying to go up for a trophy. That's why I've been using the boomerang so much. Is because I think there might be a trophy relating to that somehow for the boomerang ability or something. I may be wrong, but I'm just going off of what I think I remember anyways.
The basement is in the research building. We can get there through the emergency ducts.
I wonder what I need to do here. I know I need one of those right there, so that's pretty obvious. Maybe if I move this a little closer or something. Wow,
I'll meet you on the other
I don't
side.
know if that was some kind of speedrun tactic or what. Honestly, don't know there. Wait, Little Knack has a voice? As you can tell by those grunts that he did, he has a voice? I never heard him speak in either of the games so far, so I honestly don't know why he suddenly has a voice now, Little Knack. Like, he never shown any kind of semblance of having a voice before. So, I don't know why he suddenly has one now. Okay. This obviously needs to go up here. Okay. I'm so stupid. I cannot believe I just fell off of one of the easiest pathways I've ever seen. But then again, it's kind of hard to tell through a wall. You know?
Check it out. They've even broken into the doctor's lab.
Okay.
Quietly now. The basement is this way.
Doesn't really seem to matter much, considering, he did say KNACK was his greatest invention, and KNACK isn't really all that special. Like, yes, he is revolutionary for this world, but he isn't all that special, you know? And he wasn't even the one that invented it. He wasn't even the one that created KNACK. You know?
No time
like,
for
he just
memories,
found
I
him in
guess.
a cave.
Even if they were good ones.
Like, that's literally not the Doctor's invention at that point. Like, it's just another time period's invention that he stole. Like, yes, he found out how to activate KNACK's core to react to relics, but he wasn't the one that created the core in the first place. Meaning, he didn't create KNACK. Jesus Christ, I'm so stupid. I'm not skipping it. I'm going all the way. I am going all the way here to, you know, make sure I make it to the end of the game naturally. I'm not using any exploits, you know, besides ones that may be accidental. Like, you know, like the exploits that I didn't know would work, or that I wouldn't even know about. Usually not even know about. And otherwise, I'm never using an exploit in games. I am playing the game 100% naturally. I don't care. I don't care. I am not a speedrunner, so I shouldn't be using exploits. Wait. Wow, I could literally just skip past that entire segment just by jumping a little. Wow, these enemies are surprisingly easy, even with KNACK's size, like being like almost 10 feet tall, which isn't, you know, too awfully big. I don't even think it's the biggest that KNACK can get. Like, and still, I'm dogpiling these enemies like it's a kid in a candy store. That's how easy they are. Like, these enemies are ridiculously easy if you played through both games like I have. You know, multiple times over, in fact. I've played through both games multiple times over. So no wonder these enemies are basically a cakewalk for me. Okay, if I seriously didn't grab that supercharging crystal, I honestly would have died there. I ain't gonna deny that. That was just pure luck personified, honestly. Like that super crystal grab, it was just pure luck personified. There's no need to hide it. Okay. At least the boomerang can nullify electricity-based attacks. That's something anyways. That's pretty useful considering how many electricity-based enemies there are in this game. Being like at least half the enemies are like that. You know, being able to charge up themselves with electricity. Okay, I gotta see if there's any relics. Okay, there's only this one little crate. That's all I can see for relics. Okay, time to defeat this little enemy so it doesn't follow me. Okay, I guess it automatically died by itself.
After you.
Wait, why is there just random relics? That doesn't make any sense. I don't see any crates nearby. So why is there just random relics on the ground like there was some kind of crate? But honestly, my main takeaway from Charlotte's plotline in this game is how she looks like she barely aged compared to the Doctor. Even though they're around the same age, she looks like she's barely aged compared to the Doctor.
As far as we know,
like after the incident, compared to whenever they found her again, she looks like she barely aged a day. Sure, a little bit of graying in the hair, but that's about it, and it's not even that noticeable. That's honestly my main problem with their storyline. It's like she's supposed to be around the same age as the Doctor, yet she looks like she's barely aged compared to him.
Is this
And that's honestly something
What's
that
that?
does not make sense.
You built this out of robot parts?
I can't believe
I wonder what else it could have been made out of. You know, considering KNACK and Lucas were trapped on Robot Island, Robot Goblin Island for months.
Be my guest.
I wonder what they could have built the plane out of.
His monks and the ancient weapons against Just us?
Well, unless you know someone with a large, independent military force. No. No, absolutely not. No, there is no way
Oh my
I
god.
am going to Katrina's fortress.
And they do it anyways. That is the most obvious plot line
So that's
ever.
Katrina's place, huh?
Once he said that line, that he's gonna go to Katrina.
All of this can't be just to keep you out, can it?
Oh, I'd say it's definitely just to keep me out.
What has he been doing?
Maybe I should.
What
wait
has he
here
been
and,
doing to Katrina all these
go in my
months?
car.
All these years and all these months? What has he been doing? Has he been stalking her all these months? Jesus Christ, like, I didn't think I could hate a character so badly. He's clearly stalked her for months. Either that or she's completely insane. Just pick your poison at that point.
Robots. Reminds me of the first time I asked her for a date.
Yeah, you're not really helping your case here, Ryder. You're seriously not helping your case here.
Hey, watch it! Someone could get hurt.
Like, honestly, that's not helping him at all.
So after the third time I tried to visit, Katrina added these patrol bots.
The third time?
Maybe
How
it
am
was
I
the
supposed to
fifth
get
time.
through these things?
No, it
Wait,
was an odd number.
that honestly makes so much sense. That I would be able to duck underneath these platforms. Wait. I was underneath that platform, so how did they see me? Okay. At least I made it through that time anyways. Oh god, it's that guy from the first game who I bet nobody really cared for. And he was just flat out delusional.
Victor.
Like,
Takes you back, doesn't it?
Victor was completely insane. Like, he almost... Like, him and Lucas together almost caused the end of the world. I know Lucas didn't have as much of a part to play as Victor, but he still had a part to play. You know, by giving Victor the key, by helping the key get to Victor, hence almost causing the end of the world. Like, honestly, he is so irresponsible. KNACK was right for telling Lucas to grow up. Like, he acts like a child and is so irresponsible. Like, obviously irresponsible. Like, he does it in the most obvious ways possible that a child could see from a mile away. That he's clearly irresponsible.
Security here is just ridiculous.
But honestly, it's Ryder you're talking about here.
It is so peaceful.
She kinda needs all that security.
Except for the deadly robots and stuff.
And knowing that he's a pilot, yeah, you're gonna need some air fortitude. You know, some air defense.
Oh, perfect. The robots have figured out we're with Ryder.
Like, honestly, you're gonna need some air defense. Wait, what? How did I die there? I guess I'm gonna use the boomerang to, trap up this enemy. Okay, these enemies are far more easy to take out.
Combat robots with blades for hands. What could go wrong?
Lots of things. You know, like being chopped in half. And losing your only defense against the end of the world being KNACK. even though you practically take all the credit from him whenever all you did was just give basically pointless exposition the entire time, or travel. That's all you've done. KNACK did literally everything, like, you know, major, and yet you guys took the credit, you human characters. I mean, come on, look at the ending to the first game. They literally had trophies, like medals given to them, whenever they clearly didn't deserve any. Considering, you know, considering they didn't do all that much. Like, I've seen alley cats be more useful to saving the world than what I've ever seen from the human characters in this game, in both games for that matter. Okay, where am I supposed to go? Is there some kind of, you know, invisible crystals or something, like around here somewhere? Like, I'm genuinely wondering what I need to do. Wait, I think I can. Nope, I can't. Wait, I think I can. Oh wait, never mind. I'm gonna have to wait for this one to go over here, I guess. Okay. Wait, I think I'm gonna have to push this a little more. Wait. I guess I screwed up that puzzle, because there was no way I could have, you know, gotten to it again. You know, considering it was so far into the sight of those robots that it would have been impossible to, you know, actually, you know, get it back. So okay, I'm gonna wait for these to move around. Oh man, I was so close. I guess I'm gonna have a lot more deaths than what I initially envisioned, considering I've already had, like, what, 4 deaths throughout this entire video, and my initial vision was 1 or 2. So, yeah. Okay. Oh god. I need this thing to move. Okay. At least I'm actually making some decent progress here. That's something anyways.
I hope Ryder's okay.
Okay, let's try and continue the game. But yeah, those streamers that I was talking about earlier in the video, they are just cowardly losers, and that says a lot, considering Sneeko was the only guy to show up to that guy's birthday party. That says a lot about those streamers at that point. If, you know, the prime poster child of being a cowardly loser is, like, he was the only one willing to show up to that guy's birthday. Like, if the poster child of cowardly losers is able to do that better than you, like, is able to actually pull through on something, that says more about those other streamers than what it does Sneeko at that point.
Uncle!
Like, Sneeko who's literally the poster child of cowardly losers. And yet he was the one to show up over those other streamers.
Well, I guess she's not home. Let's go.
Uncle.
Honestly, Ryder
For
seems
the last time,
like
Ryder.
he's a stalker.
Go away.
You heard the lady.
Seriously, what happened?
Guess I'll have to do this the hard way.
Huh.
We'll be waiting right here. Or maybe further back.
Wow, I have literally made it through like a chapter and a half in just a span of 30 minutes. Like, this game isn't, like, it is really short if I can get through a chapter and a half, in the span of, like, 30 minutes. Okay. Well, I guess that's what I needed to do, I guess. Instead of staying as Big Knack, I needed to go as Little Knack. You know, on those drone things. So, why does she have drones that can carry Knack? Who is associated with Ryder, like, closely? Like, and has platforms that she knows he can go on if she doesn't want to see Ryder? That just doesn't add up. Like, that just doesn't add up that she has stuff built for a guy who can use it. Like, you know what I'm trying to say at that point. You honestly know. Like she built platforms able to carry a guy she knows is commonly associated with a guy she hates. That just doesn't add up. I mean, come on. If she really wanted to stay away from Ryder that badly, just get rid of those platforms that Knack can clearly use. I know that kind of makes the whole chapter pointless, but still. Either way, if she really hated Ryder that badly, why make platforms that Knack can use whenever Knack is known to be a close associate of Ryder, who, mind you, is a guy she hates? That just doesn't add up. Stealth Knack. And she uses crystals that she knows Knack can use. That just doesn't add up why she's giving Knack all these things that she knows he can use. Even though she wants to keep out Ryder, and Knack is a close associate to Ryder. That just doesn't add up. I know it's to continue the story and all, but it just doesn't make sense. Like, that is basically just plot armor personified at that point. And it's just poor decision making on her end. Like, if she really wanted to keep the guy out, don't make stuff that a common associate with him, a common and close associate of the guy you hate. Don't put stuff that he can use in there. That's just poor architecture at that point. Like, that is just poor, choices. That is just stupidity personified. I know it's to continue the plot of the game, but either way, it's stupid. It is just poor decision making at that point. And I'm surprised that a now owner of a multi-billion-dollar company couldn't even figure that simple detail out, whenever she was the one who had all those security systems implemented herself. Like, I know that's a little ranty, but it just doesn't make sense why she has stuff that KNACK can access, whenever she knows KNACK is a close associate to Ryder, and she had the entire security system implemented to keep Ryder out. That's just poor building design. That's just pure poor that's just asking for Ryder to get in at that point. Like that, and the only one to blame for Ryder getting in at that point is her. Like, that's just all on her at that point. Like, that she couldn't even bother thinking of that. Whenever she's in, what, her 40s? And I'm only 19 and I could figure that out? She's in her, what, 30s or 40s? And even I could figure that out before her, and I'm only 19? I mean, come on, it doesn't take some genius level thinking to figure that one out. The flaws with that. If a 19-year-old can do that. Like, that is all on her for whenever Ryder gets in. There's no one else to blame at that point than her. Like, that is all on her at that point, for Ryder getting in. There's no one else to blame at that point. For her own stupidity. And mismanagement of a security system. Like, that is just all on her at that point. Wow, I'm 13 feet tall as KNACK. I have never felt so tall before.
Katrina, we need to talk.
I've never felt so tall until I started using KNACK in this game.
To speak. KNACK already briefed me about the situation. Fortunately, I have several thousand security robots specifically designed to keep out undesirables.
You're talking about Ryder, aren't you?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes, I am. A few tweaks and they'll be ready to take on Xander's robots.
What kind of tweaks exactly?
Leave it to me. What is that thing?
A plane, obviously.
That's my ride.
I thought I was corny. I thought I was corny.
Katrina, I'll meet you at Norcliffe. Now, let's see what this baby can do.
Oh my god. Lucas needs to shut up for once. Like he easily has to make up like half the dialogue in both games.
Looks like Katrina and her
And
troops are ready
honestly,
to go.
it feels like KNACK has the
Knack and I
least
will
amount of
infiltrate and get that door open
dialogue.
for you. Tell Katrina
And
to
he's the
meet me.
namesake
I'll
of
let
the
Charlie know to
game.
tell the doctor to let Katrina know you're on your way.
Just talk to her, Uncle.
Yeah, you've never had 1,000 robots programmed to destroy you.
And maybe you shouldn't have obviously been stalking her for months, if not years. Today's video here. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.